What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris coming at you today with another cast on Soul Speakers. And today, as you know, is Trending Tuesday, people. So today, we're going to be talking about Chadwick Boseman, and it's sad to see him go. And we want to send our deepest condolences out to his family, all his loved ones, and all his fans. And I got today with me a few good friends and actors as well to talk about Chadwick Boseman on a few questions that I got. So without further ado, I'll let each one of them introduce themselves so that you can get to know them, them as an actor, and where to find their work.
Okay, well, I'm Kiara Rashawn, of course, an actor, based in Atlanta, but originally I'm from Seattle, Washington. My work, actually, like I said last night, I just got off set, so I got some work coming soon that y'all gonna be able to see. But you can see me on ATL Homicide for my man on TV One. Okay, I've got a few short films that you can find on YouTube, and I'm just out here working, trying to get this stuff done, putting in the work.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes, ma'am. Keisha, what about you?
All right. Well, as it stated, I'm Keisha Estridge. I am actually from Anderson, South Carolina, the upstate. Yes. And you can actually catch my work. I'm in For My Man as well. I have three different independent films that are actually going to be premiering at the end of this year. And I actually got some work. Like, I'm working on something with somebody that's based in Atlanta, but I can't say anything at the moment because nothing is promised right now. So I'm just waiting to confirm everything, but we're secretly grinding.
Yes, ma'am. And Mr. D.
Hi, yes, I'm D. Rogers. From Nashville, Tennessee, but I live in Los Angeles. Um, you can find my work on my Instagram page. Um, I've been able to do like a couple Netflix shows, and I've done the Wu-Tang series that was on Hulu. I've been able to do like a few commercials, and I did a short film like a week or two ago, so that's gonna be coming out soon. My Instagram profile name is Daterion Rogers, Daterion Rogers, Rogers, and that's where you can find my work.
Big moves, big moves. All right, so without further ado, we go ahead and dive right in. Guess we can take it easy for right now. Are you a fan of Chadwick Boseman, and why?
Definitely. Definitely.
Absolutely. How can you not be? His work is amazing.
Phenomenal.
Like, in every character that he has played, in every starring role he's had, he gets you to a point where your heart just pounds. You know what I mean? Like, you feel everything that he wants you to feel that's coming through, you feel it. And that's why I love him, because I love an actor who can make you feel.
Mm.
Yes, I am a fan of Chadwick Boseman. I mean, not only for his acting, but for the way he just carried himself outside of that too. I mean, you didn't hear anything bad about him.
Mm.
You've seen some very inspirational videos of him at the SAG Awards or when he was speaking at Howard about, finding your purpose, you know, um, and that, the fact that he was able to portray,
Mm.
very historical figures, James Brown and, um, Thurgood Marshall or um, Jackie Robinson. I mean, you can't help but to be a fan of that. And plus, he's a great actor as well. I mean, this man captured the life and the essence of each individual, that he was playing. And so I think, that's a great thing as an actor to capture, the being of who they are, their ups and downs, their flaws, and he was able to capture each emotion. And so you have no choice. Well, for me, you have no choice but to be a fan of that.
Well, I'm definitely a fan of his. Like, I'm actually from Anderson as well. and so is he. And he actually literally give everybody that's from a small town, especially here, hope, because like you guys like based in Atlanta and based in, LA. Here in South Carolina, it's kind of like acting is like considered a joke here.
Mm.
So the fact that he's somebody that's actually made a huge impact on him, being a black actor
Mhm.
and coming from a small town, and the fact that he embraced it, and he always mentioned like, yeah, I'm from Anderson, South Carolina, the upstate.
Mm.
The fact that he continues to acknowledge it, it gives hope for people like us or like me, that's based here too, that we have to reach out to people in Atlanta or, LA.
Mm.
It just make us feel like, okay, anything is possible. If he can do it, we can too.
Exactly.
So I definitely was a huge fan of his.
So do you think he was so you're saying he was basically an influential actor?
Oh, definitely,
Mm.
definitely.
Okay. I know that he's a real big inspiration to the kids, especially in his most recent, or not most recent, but one of the most recent films, Black Panther. Um,
Mm.
I've seen on TikTok and all over social media kids doing the little things with the action figures, and they're lining them up all around and like have the Black Panther in the middle. It's sad to see, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of the hardest parts for me was thinking, how am I going to tell my kids?
Right,
Kids,
right.
all these little
mm,
black kids just got this hero. They just got him. And they poured so
mm-hmm,
much love into him,
yeah,
from the costumes and the action figures and how much time they spend
mm-hmm,
watching the movie. They just got him. Now, how do we as parents turn around and tell our
mm-hmm,
kids
Yes,
he's gone? Because they don't see an actor.
man.
They see this hero,
yeah,
a hero that looks just like them.
yeah,
But I will say, in telling my kids that he was gone, I started crying, okay? And they're looking at me like the king is gone. And in telling him that he was gone, I say, yeah, but you know what? He was fighting that whole time, and you never knew. We never knew. He showed us how strong we
mm-hmm,
could all be
mm-hmm.
because we never knew.
So there were never any signs of him being sick.
I didn't
I
see
didn't
any
see any.
signs until The Five Bloods aired on Netflix. When they released that,
Mm,
I was watching it with a
mm-hmm,
friend, and my friend said, dang, he looks a little thin. I said, yeah. I
mm,
wonder if we were thinking maybe it's because of the time setting
mm-hmm.
of the
Like the
movie,
role, the
not
role.
thinking that it
Mm-hmm,
was anything medical. Yeah, the raw. But then when he did that, the video he did about Jackie Robinson Day and everything about the foundation, he was really sunken in. And the first thought I got was Charlie Murphy.
That's what I thought too.
I don't know
mm,
if you guys noticed the last few years of Charlie Murphy, and you could just tell. And that's what I thought of when I seen
mm-hmm,
Chadwick in that video. And I
Oh, wow.
kind of got sad to think about that, but I'm like, okay, we haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's, just putting it together in our heads, like,
mm-hmm,
he's going to be okay.
It was just like, wait, what happened? And then on the headline said, colon cancer. It was like, wait, what? When did this happen? Like, when did he ever get diagnosed with that? Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, because I seen in that TikTok video where he was being interviewed, and they were asking about a Black Panther 2 and all this and that, and he was just like, "I'm dead."
I
He
seen
kept saying,
that.
"I'm dead, I'm dead." Like, so it's most of his answers, and I was looking at that like, was that him like, telling everybody something without necessarily directly telling them? Because if you think about the time frame, in 2016 is when he was first diagnosed with colon cancer, and then it progressed to stage 4. And at that point, there's really no hope as far as like life much longer. So I think that at that point it was him trying to tell us something that we didn't know, but we're soon going to find out.
I don't think at the time no one seen any signs until, you know, a recent a recent video of him on Instagram, and he's talking about Jackie Robinson Day, and you see that he's clearly, smaller than normal. And so it kind of raised some eyebrows as to what is going on.
Man.
I think he did it through his movie choices as well. His role choices that he chose, and his if you watch his interviews now, because hindsight is 2020,
Mm-hmm.
you can go back and see some of the things that he said and go, of course he knew and we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, and he's talking to us from a place of knowing, and we just didn't even have the understanding to really see where he was coming from. We heard it and we're like, ooh, that's deep, but we didn't hear it and know, damn, that's real.
Right. I'm glad you said that too, because like the choices of the roles that he got meant a lot to me. I don't know about y'all, but he didn't play like the typical crackhead or the gangster or something like that. He played historical figures. Like, everything that he did to me was like, it was just
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. To me, he was just like right up there with Denzel Washington to me. And it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm just glad that he didn't just give us something that was just
Mm-hmm.
the average expected for the black actor to go and just grab and yeah, I'm gonna get paid for it. He went out and he went out the way. And another thing is I spoken with somebody and I always get afraid. I don't know about you guys, but I always get afraid about like submitting for roles that don't actually say like African American.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told that, you see people like Chadwick or, other actors or like Denzel Washington, they're not afraid to actually submit for, Caucasian roles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing stuff like that, I just look at some of the movies like 21 Bridges and all of that just to see
Mm-hmm.
could they have had a different actor to play it and, was that role actually meant for,
Mm-hmm.
Caucasian person or something. But I don't know. I just love the fact that every movie that he's actually played in had a strong man
Mm-hmm.
behind it.
So does his the as you were saying, like the roles he played were significant and powerful roles. So
Right.
is that to say that those were the main roles he strived to go out for? And
Mm-hmm.
does that put, in your mindset that you want to do that same thing, being it your
Right.
culture?
So I just watched this clip of him actually, and he was saying how how he had agents that would send him roles, and they would be, the drug dealer, the thug, or something that we really don't want to play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, those aren't the roles where I want to play. And the agents would be like, well, they're connected to this director or they're connected to this producer or this other actor. He's like, yeah, I want to work with them, but I want to work with them when I'm doing something else.
Forever.
When I'm doing a role that's better. I don't want to be this person working with them. And to have that principle, okay, because as actors, you get to a point where I need a check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to have that principle to say that no matter who's attached to it, if this is something that I don't want to see myself in, or I don't want my kids or other people to see me in, I'm not going to do it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
even going to take that. But he said that turning down those roles left him available to the bigger and better opportunities that gave us the movies that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
And the man was amazing. Like
Yeah.
he definitely had that. And somebody mentioned Denzel. Denzel is like he's one of the top stars for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
definitely had that Denzel glow.
Yeah, he did.
He
Mm-hmm.
definitely had that Denzel
That
glow.
strong, charismatic, type of
The,
person. Yeah.
and that connection to the black community where he's ours. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where he had that connection to just make you feel like he's one of us. I am you and you are me and we
Mm-hmm.
are, he had that. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's it's hard. It's a
Yeah.
hard
It,
loss.
it it is. And I feel like leading into another question, he died at home, surrounded by his family. Do you think this is the ideal way he wanted to go due to his situation?
Absolutely.
Honestly, for me, I would love to go out that way, even though it's not really about me right now, but I would love to go out that
Mm-hmm.
way. And I'm sure that's the way he wanted to go out, right next to the people that he loved.
Right.
And I think that was his ideal situation of going out. And I'm sure he prepared everyone for, you know, the upcoming years back in 2016. I'm sure he did. And so the way he went out was the way he wanted to go out.
And shout out to his family and all his people, his whole team, because keeping that secret for 4 years, not nobody leaked anything. We never heard a nothing. We didn't have pictures. We didn't get a TMZ drop, like none of that stuff. They held that man's business and they held on to his, what he wanted, his wishes, and they carried it through. And that's an amazing thing too. He definitely had a great team and a wonderful family to keep that and keep it so close because family will sell your secrets
For money. Yeah.
quick.
That must have hurt a lot
Definitely.
to each one of the people that was on his team, because I'm pretty sure each one of them must have known, but known not to say anything. And
Mm-hmm.
just for somebody who carries such an impact to the world, it's hard to know that their time is coming, but nobody else knows. Like a lot of people, there are millions of people that don't know, and you can already
Right.
see what's about to happen. But it's taken over the news, and it's taken over the social media and kids as well, who are really hurt. Like you said, it's hard to tell your kids something like this from somebody who because in America you got a lot of superheroes, right? But not a lot of
Right.
them are black. So
Right.
it's just like being that you finally got a generation that's coming up where you feel like now you got opportunity, you got chances, where it feels like African Americans, people of color, are coming up not only just in the community but on your TV. You can now see them having roles that are just as big as Superman or Batman or something like that.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's a hard battle to fight for everybody who is a fan. I personally, I like his role. I like what he did in Black Panther. Out of a lot of movies, I like what he did in Black Panther because he made that role come alive to me in a sense where we can be it showed a leadership for colored people, just not here in America, but like somewhere in like Africa or something like that. It showed what we can be as a people and how we should be as a people. And that kind of makes me reflect on the way we're acting nowadays, like out in society. I didn't get that same feeling from when I watched that movie. It made me feel like it was a separate world. Like there was, conflict between people in that movie for certain reasons, but at the same time, there was still unity, there was still love, and all of that. And I wanted to ask you guys, what movies from him, out of all the ones he's been in, made the most significant impact on you, and why?
I say it's Black Panther. I mean, especially me, knowing me, as a kid, you always want to be a superhero, whether it's, Batman, Spider-Man. I never want to be Superman. That's one superhero I never want to be. But you want to be like Batman, Spider-Man, and, you want to be some superheroes in Marvel or DC. But when you look at all of them and take off that mask, they are all pretty much white.
Yes.
Except for the old, Justice League show where you had the Green Lantern. He was black. I forgot his name. But for the most part, majority of them, they were white. But when you look upon the big screen, no one was black. I mean, you had Blade. Don't get me wrong.
I remember Blade.
Blade was good. I like Blade. Wesley Snipes did his thing. But when you think about Black Panther and the impact it had upon just, everyone, I mean, it showed you that, for one, black movies can, travel. So we've had to knock that little notion down of black movies can't travel. So that movie definitely did travel. But for him just to play Black Panther, a king, the king of Wakanda, I mean, that says it all right there. When you watch the film and you see not only it was just him, but he had some very strong and powerful, beautiful women, right next to him. And for me, and I'm pretty sure for like a lot of other people, when you see that, it's like, man, thank you. I mean, we've come a long way. We still got ways to go, but man, we've come a long way, and it's really cool to see us on screen. It's about time we got us on
He
screen.
he was he was very integrated in that, to where I know that in some instances they left from out of their land and came with what you would say the modern day of society interacting. You could see the difference between the way his people interacted with them. Their whole demeanor was completely different from that. So it showed where they stood out in their community and in their people.
I'm gonna say get on up. And the reason why is because, again, I'm from South Carolina. The fact that he's from Anderson playing somebody else that is actually from South Carolina and to be able to body that, to me, that stood out. It was amazing to watch. Just, I, I'm, I love Black Panther. I love it. I love it. I love it. But that one there just
Mm-hmm.
kind of did something for
Mm-hmm.
me because I'm all about, I love music, James Brown, and everything. But I
Mm-hmm.
really liked it that one the most.
Do you think that was a personal one for him, being that he's from South Carolina, playing somebody from there?
I would I would think so because just think about it, like because out of all the actors they could have gotten, and they chose somebody who has a southern root, South Carolina, and the songs that he was able to sing and just kind of bring it to life and just kind of to do that just because I don't know if you guys ever been here. Is literally like South Carolina is like really still far behind from all the rest of the states. And the fact that he was able to just clutch it and just take it. And he embraced everything about James Brown to me.
I think Black Panther is my favorite too. I still need to watch 21 Bridges, and now it's probably going to be harder for me to bring myself to watch it, but I'm absolutely going to because I just need to see it. But Black Panther, for all the reasons that have been stated, is amazing. But you know how people get typecast when or they tell you to know your type. And when you know your type, is because there's something real or personal about that you don't have to bring. It's just there, right? I feel like in Black Panther, I feel like Chadwick
Mm-hmm.
embodied that. I feel like he personified that character, and that's why it was so strong. That's why he was able to touch so many people. That's why we all felt it and felt that connection and that integrity and
Mm.
strength and the wonder and amazement because that was a part of him. I don't think that was something that he had to bring out. You know, we don't know him personally, but in every
Natural,
clip
yeah.
that you've seen, in every interview that you go back and watch, and all the stories you hear told, you don't get a bunch of drama. You don't get, the issues. You get everybody telling you how honest he was, the stand-up man, the always smiling, the heart, the integrity. And that is Black Panther. He brought that through and through, and you were
Mm-hmm.
able to tell that that is really part of who he is. And the
Exactly.
movie, the cinematography, like, when they're all on the mountain and they're doing the ceremony and you have all these different tribes of Black people, but they're all together on beat together. They're
Mm-hmm.
all unified for one thing, and that's the betterment of their land, their people,
Mm-hmm.
Wakanda. You know what I mean? It is beautiful. And I did mention how big it was to
Mm-hmm.
Black kids, but it was really important for all kids to see that Black people could be superheroes, to see that this Black man is
Mm-hmm.
so powerful, to see that these Black women, okay, could
Mm-hmm.
stand up here and
Unity.
fight
Mm-hmm.
right next to the king, and the king never, not one time, dishonors or puts a shadow on these
Mm-hmm.
women. Those relations, the intricacy of just the relationship between men and women, between the king and his people,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
between how people could love their king and he could
Mm-hmm.
still just be so It's so humble. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that movie. That movie is. It was a classic from the day it
Mm-hmm.
released, and mm, like how do y'all go forward from that? That is even when he comes in at the end of Infinity War.
Mm.
He was like one of the first ones to come through. You know, when the crew comes through
Mm-hmm.
and save the
Man, he
day,
ain't.
it start with T'Challa bust open and everybody in the theater. Yeah, come on. When once T'Challa came, we win.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know we're winning this
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
That like the excitement that I just got right now. You hear that? That was real, and like I just watched the movie. Like
I
I'm
can
in
feel
the
the
theater.
goosebumps.
And can you feel it? And anybody that can make you feel that
Yeah.
after watching the movie, months after, you haven't seen it in weeks. I ain't seen it. That's a man that knew his purpose and absolutely fulfilled it.
Mm.
Absolutely. I truly believe he knew his purpose and the strength that it took him to be a superhero, a Marvel superhero,
Mm-hmm.
battling cancer. Okay, not once, not twice, but in 3
And he
movies.
didn't let none of that
The
affect him.
strength that took,
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
That.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, our deepest condolences go out to his family once again, to
Absolutely.
everybody that was a part of his team, anybody that knew him closely, personally, or was just a fan. We want to bring humble to your hearts because, I believe in my mind and in my heart that he's in a better place. Yes, we'd love him to be here still making movies and doing the great things that he was in the process of doing on television and making that impact to the black community, but not just the black community, for all people to see what real and true unity is. And not only that, but you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. I appreciate everyone that was on the cast today. Once again, you all can let everyone know where they can find you on social media to check your workout and stay caught up to you whenever you're releasing something new. And if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that now.
You guys can find me across most social media platforms at Kiara Rashawn. It's KIARARASHAWN. I'm on Insta. I only do a little bit of TikToking because I'm getting old. I can't be doing all these different damn dances. I don't know all that. Okay. You gonna see some real Black Lives Mattering in my tweets, okay? But you can definitely catch me in action on my Insta, on YouTube, and I'm out here.
And you can find me on Facebook, y'all. I'm still new to the Instagram life. I have not, did anything on it yet, but it's coming. But on Facebook is Keisha Estridge, and it is spelled totally different, you guys. So it's KEASHIA Estridge, ESTRICH-Jones. So I know we'll have some work there as well.
Hi, yes, I'm D Rogers. My Instagram profile name is Daterion Rogers, DATERION, Rogers, ROGERS. And that's where you can find my work.
All right. Well, I thank everyone for tuning in to Soul Speakers. We'll catch you next time on Soul Speakers. It's your boy Chris, and we'll see you next time. Stay woke, stay blessed, people.